Okay, so let's talk about it because I feel like I've dealt with this my entire dating life. I can remember as far back as late teens, early 20s, dealing with men who would emotionally manipulate or coerce for sex. A guy would get more aggressive than I wanted, and so I would pull back and I would be called a cock tease. I was told I was leading him on. I was told I was being unfair. You started this, now you have to finish it. There was this pressure for sex, and if you didn't put out, you're a horrible, awful person and you're going to die alone with cats. So we all know now that that's emotional abuse, manipulation, and sexual coercion. But to a brain that isn't fully developed, to somebody with unknown trauma, both lived and generational, like this is really damaging stuff. And when that happens repeatedly, you really start to wonder if you're the problem. Maybe I'm assigning too much meaning to sex. Maybe I should learn to emotionally detach from it. So then you try this like free-spirited approach and you learn to emotionally detach or dissociate from your feelings, but it doesn't feel right and you're shamed for being easy. So now you're shamed for not putting out and you're shamed for being easy. You're literally lost. So you just end up building these walls and you're hyper vigilant and you think the worst of everyone and you refuse to put yourself in any situation that's slightly compromising because you don't want to have to deal with either side of the scenario. But say you do end up in a relationship and now the person making you feel like shit is your partner. And while you logically get that you have a right to say no, you also now have all this unprocessed stored trauma. You're not just dealing with this person in front of you giving you a guilt trip, but it triggers all of the shame and all of the blame of your past experiences, and you end up re-traumatized every single time they try to manipulate you. 20 years of shame and blame being piled on your shoulders because you legit were just too fucking tired. And so you decide to be vulnerable and you share your past experiences. Hey, when you say these things, it brings me right back to those moments and it doesn't feel good. It feels like sex is all that matters to you. It feels like I am nothing more than a warm body. But that's when they say, why are you punishing me for your past? You have to get over that. I didn't do that to you. They literally take your vulnerability and your weaknesses and they throw it in your face. And so now you're shamed again. You think there must be something wrong with me. I have to get over this. If any of this resonates with you, please understand that you don't. At the root of the trauma was someone who stripped you of your autonomy and felt entitled to your body. It is being re-triggered with your partner because they too try to strip you of your autonomy and feel entitled to your body. You don't need to get over that. We don't get over our trauma. We learn to live with it. And a big piece of that is finding safe people who don't trigger it.